transportation workers, the first step into the modern era came on April 15, 1934. It was on that day that the Transport Workers Union was officially founded. The formation of the TWU did not happen spontaneously. It was the outgrowth of years of work and effort. The conditions were also right for unionization. The life of a transportation worker then was far different than it is today. They had no benefits, no health insurance, no pensions, no vacations, no lunch or dinner breaks, not even bathroom breaks. There were no seniority rights. There was no grievance procedure. Favoritism was rampant. Discipline was harsh and repressive, designed to instill fear and subservience. The supervisor and the boss were supreme. If you dared to challenge their will, you were fired, blacklisted, and abandoned. Working conditions were miserable and dangerous. Over the 20 years before the founding of TWU, one of every 1,000 transit workers was killed on the job. And when you got sick or injured, you were unceremoniously fired. Mike Quill, TWU's founder, once said of those days, "We were no experts in the field of labor organization, but we had something in common with our fellow workers. We were all poor. We were all overworked. We were all victims of the 84-hour work week. In fact, we were all so low down on the economic and social ladder, we had nowhere to go but up." TWU wasn't the first union to try to organize New York transit workers. Other unions tried, but none had succeeded. Every serious attempt to organize was ruthlessly beaten back by a management willing to do anything to keep a real union out. One subway company spent over $3.5 million during a daring strike back in 1916 just to break a union drive. But TWU took a different approach to unionism. TWU was an industrial union that organized everyone working in the industry. Worker was not pitted against worker. Craft was not pitted against craft. And no job title was excluded. White, black, Italian, Irish, Latino, Christian, Jew, it made no difference. In unity, there was strength. And once TWU did what no other union could do, organizing New York City's vast transit operation, there was no turning back. A lot has changed in the 60 years since the founding of the TWU. Our union has grown from a small band of less than 100 members who met in secret into a large and powerful international union with more than 100,000 members. We have spread across the country to cities both big and small, east, west, north, and south. In aviation and air transportation for more than half a century, the TWU has been there, on the job, fighting for our members. On Conrail, Amtrak, Metro North, New Jersey Transit, the commuter railroads and the short lines for 2 decades. In mass transit, private and public bus and rail operations, with the nation's largest carriers and some of the smallest. In school districts and municipalities, TWU is there. With utility companies, service companies, and on the campuses of schools and the leading colleges and universities. On the streets, in the skies, on the rails, coast to coast, TWU is there. Our international union has grown into a professional organization that assists TWU locals in collective bargaining, research and education, political action, communications, legal matters, and much more.
Just recently, I brought my mother from St. Louis out of a nursing home. She was unable to travel up until just recently before Christmas time. And after I got an oxygen tank, and when I got here, they gave me a small tank. It only lasted for a few hours, when my mother has to be on oxygen continuously. I didn't know where to go, what to turn to, so I called the union, and Jeff got, within a matter of hours, got a whole list of numbers for me and people to call, and I had a machine out within 3 hours.
TWU has always maintained the policy instituted by its founders, guaranteeing our locals operating autonomy and financial independence. There are 3 divisions in the TWU. Transit, Utilities, University, and Service Division, which includes all modes of mass transit, utilities, universities and colleges, school districts, and municipalities. The Air Transport Division, which includes almost every class and craft in the industry, as well as workers in the service contract sector. And the Railroad Division, which includes non-operating personnel on the major railroads, commuter lines, and the short lines. Each division has a director and staff who assist TWU local unions in all aspects of collective bargaining, whether it be negotiating or enforcing a contract or handling a grievance. The contract is the heart of all union management relationships. It assures negotiated wages and benefits, fair working conditions, and justice on the job through a grievance procedure. When TWU organizes a new group, the first step is making sure that we negotiate a strong contract. Then we help our local people learn how to administer that agreement so that management is held accountable. It is not enough to organize and win an agreement. TWU has learned that its relationship with its local unions must be ongoing through the work of its international staff who are assigned to assist local unions and through the assistance of the different departments of the international, such as legal, publicity, education, research, COPE, and legislative. We are always there when we are needed. TWU provides a variety of other membership services, such as a low-rate credit card, reduced-rate mortgages, and travel discounts. For airline mechanics, we have a license protection program to protect our members against unfair FAA harassment or discipline. For members in bus operations, we run a commercial driver's license program to assist in earning a proper operating license. And for many other members, we have negotiated upgrade training programs to establish a successful career path in our industries. It has been said that what we win at the bargaining table, we can lose in the legislature.
If you're not involved with your councilmen, your mayors, your assemblymen, your state senators, and on through Washington, you're not going to get anywhere. You need legislation to fight privatization, to fight all these different things that you have against you constantly.
To ensure that politicians listen to us, and they do, TWU maintains an extensive political operation in Washington, D.C. and in the state capitals. Senators, representatives, legislators, mayors, and presidents all know who we are because of our strong Committee on Political Education, or COPE program. COPE is fueled by our members who help to make their voices heard through voter efforts, lobbying, and the COPE checkoff. As far as we have come, there is still further to go. As much as we have accomplished, there is still more to be done for TWU members, for all workers who live in this great country of ours. On the job, our founders fought for a fair wage for a fair day's work. That fight continues today against those who drive down our wages in the name of profit or budget cutting or efficiency, who would take away our benefits, who would undermine our standard of living. Our founders fought for safer working conditions, and there have been improvements. But our workers are still injured or their health is impaired at a far too alarming rate. Working conditions must still be improved. There is constant danger that the gains we have won in the past will be taken away from us through privatization, subcontracting, or globalization, through the never-ceasing push to do more and more with less and less. Job security and the right to a fair and impartial resolution of conflicts are issues we confront every day at the bargaining table and on the job. One of the things that distinguished the early TWU, and that has set our union apart through the years, has been our shared understanding that we are about more than just bread and butter issues, that we have a larger role to play in society.
We have a present member who's in the hospital right now, and he's quite sick. And we're organizing campaign drives to help pay like his insurance, and we've been sending cards, collecting money to help his family get through.
Our struggle has been for dignity and justice, not just for TWU members on the job, for everyone in every arena. We have a duty and obligation to protect our members, and we do. But in doing so, we are also protecting the rights and living standards of all workers. The road before us is not an easy one. The obstacles are many. But we have encountered obstacles many times before and overcome them, as we shall overcome those before us now. The spirit of our founders remains strong within us. The lessons they taught remain the source of our strength. The importance of unity. Divided we are weak and easily crushed. Together we are strong. The more we work together, the more we act in unison, the stronger we will be.
As the union goes, so does the country go. I don't think enough of us know the history of labor in this country, and I'm sure that once people start to look in and see what it is, that the richness, that we can turn people around and find out it pays to have a union man. They're experienced, they're skillful at their professions, that we're not here to hide the malcontent. We're here just to make sure that people have their rights protected, but we make sure that people are trained well, that are professional at their professions also.
Without good leadership and strong organization, without the discipline and resources they bring, we cannot long defend what we have won or make further advances. The founders of TWU had a vision of a better world, a world in which workers are treated with dignity and respect and are rewarded fairly for their efforts. A better and brighter world for everyone. They started us down the road towards that kind of world. They started us on the road toward that future. We have made progress in unity, in solidarity, and in strength. We will continue to make progress until the day the vision of our founders is an uncompromising reality.